My project today will be a mountain man. And so to start, I get over to my wood pile and I start looking around for something that I think will be suitable to make a mountain man wood carving. I want to get the full beard, and I'll look for something that I think will hold all of that. I kind of like this piece for that. I'll probably make that the top. We'll start with this one. Alright, so we got to get other things out of the way to get started on this one. This sitting bowl is going to sit for a while. We're now ready to start a mountain man. And of course, to start with a fairly good sized chisel to clean everything off. And now I don't normally draw, but I'll make some markings on here so it's easier to follow what I'm doing. Alright, so to start with, we're going to kind of figure out where the cap's going to meet the forehead. So we'll figure right up in there. See where I'll start carving in right there. And the bottom of his beard is going to be right about there. So center line. And the center is kind of important because you've got to get the eyes equal on each side of the center line. Same with the nose. You got to have, a certain amount of nose on one side as you do the other. So we're going to figure that this is going to be the nose right in here. The wood's a little bit bumpy, not too bad. Okay, so get an idea. There's a nose and mustache, the lip. And of course the beard's going to come down there, and we're going to probably be looking at his eyes right in there, easy enough. Okay, say I never have been one to draw. That's where it's going to start. Of course, everything's going to come off as we start to carve it, so it helps to try to visualize in the wood how you think it's going to turn out. And I always try to look at the piece of wood and see what will work. If you want something wide, big feather headdress, you have to have, of course, a wide piece of wood. And the mountain man with the cap and so on doesn't have to be real wide, but I like to have a good full, thick piece of wood so I can get a nice beard on him. Alright, step 2 here will be kind of getting a drop into this forehead area. Of course, I'm going to leave the nose sticking up the farthest, because in this particular carving, as we're going to go in, the nose will be sticking out the farthest. So we're going to leave it kind of alone and come in on each side. Take the small U-shaped tool and just come in on each side of the nose. And then up like that. And just kind of going straight in. And we'll start setting up where we want his hands come out over his forehead. So we'll work on setting this in for now. Come straight in over the forehead in. And like I said, all your lines just kind of come right on off. So it's good to visualize where you're going to go with everything. And this dark spot for the tip of the nose should stay there the longest. It should be the last of the wood that I actually cut away, because it's going to be out the farthest. So that's looking good. I'll kind of work on each side of the nose a little bit. Bring that straight in. And these eye corners are really very deep, so you don't want to go too deep, but don't be afraid to remove some area there. basically have the eyes and where the bridge of the nose is going to be set up. I can kind of drop that just a little bit more even between the eyes, because there is kind of a little ridge there for the eyebrows. Alright, I'll work on this side of the face a little bit. And he's still going to have his hat over there. And of course these guys, you know, they didn't have barbers in those days, so they did have some hair that would hang down over their collars. And I'll start bringing that up just a little more forehead. Alright, so you start, hopefully you can see some depth in this. And we've got the forehead forming nicely. And I'll cut away now this. I'm going to leave the ball of the nose there. I'm going to drop down where the mustache area is. Straight in. And you know, I'm going to leave the nose a little lower than it would go, a little longer, because we're, you know, it's hard to add to a wood carving once you carve it off. So leave a little extra, trim it up. Down. Okay, now I've got to allow for the mustache yet, because the mustache sticks out a ways. And if we get on each side of the nose and kind of run some depth up into where the eyes, corner of the eyes are going to go. Point, I've cleared away areas in the forehead. Okay, our nose is still here, sticking out good. I need a little room for mustache. I'm going to drop the beard a little lower than this, probably down into here. Bottom lip's going to be there. Now our eyes are lining up pretty good, and they'll end up setting them in there. Of course, as we carve, everything comes off. But basically, this be the mustache line. So now the mustache has to stick up higher than the rest of the cheeks do. So we'll end up carving this down. I'm going to give a little brim or a ridge to his mountain man cap right there. So I'll allow for that. And bridge of the nose is right there. Nostrils will come on like so. You can see them through there. Basically, one thing to keep in mind when you carve a nose is it's a triangular shape, unless you're a boxer. So we leave a lot of room there. That's the bottom of the nose. I'll try to come in from an angle shot so you can see how much of it's sticking out. Not enough at this point, but enough to get us started. So there's what we have of the nose so far. There's not very much distance here yet, and that's okay because I want to leave room for the mustache and as the beard forms. Now this line right here will end up moving up somewhat because the mustache will actually come back into that area more. And so you have to visualize this. Yeah, and that's why I've always said drawing really doesn't help that much. It'll help for somebody to watch what I'm doing, and as you learn, again, same thing on this side, there's not that much of the nose sticking out yet, which is okay. So we work I'm going to drop some area here into the cheek area, and of course cheekbones stick out, so you know we've got a lot of room to work with, so it's not going to be a problem. But the mustache has got to stick out somewhat above the cheeks.